Have you ever wondered why you know you're capable of more, but still end up settling for less? It's not laziness. For many, the fear of failure is stronger than the desire for success. They'd rather stay safe in mediocrity than risk proving they're not as capable as they think. Some get paralyzed by perfectionism. They believe if they can't do it exceptionally, it's not worth trying at all. Others are exhausted from past effort with no results, so they've quietly given up while still holding on to the belief that they could do better. And then there are people who fear success itself, because success would change their life, relationships, and identity in ways they're not ready for. They stay stuck between knowing their potential and refusing to chase it. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people don't consciously decide to settle. They build a system around it. A system that looks productive on the surface, but is designed to avoid real risk. They research endlessly instead of starting. They plan instead of executing. They prepare, for months or years, for something that only requires a first messy step. It feels like progress. But it's just controlled stagnation. Because as long as you're preparing, you can still protect the idea that, I could have done something great. I just haven't started yet. The moment you actually try, that illusion is gone. Now there's proof. Real feedback. Real results. And that's what most people are avoiding, not failure itself, but clarity. Then there's another layer most people ignore. Your identity. If you've spent years seeing yourself as someone with potential, actually chasing it forces a shift. You can't hide behind that label anymore. You either become someone who executes, or someone who confirms their own doubts. That's a brutal transition. Because potential is comfortable. It's flexible. It can mean anything. Reality is specific. And specificity exposes gaps, in skill, discipline, consistency. So instead of facing that, people stay in the safer identity. I could, but I haven't. There's also the cost no one talks about. Staying where you are isn't neutral. Every time you avoid action, you reinforce a pattern. You teach your brain that hesitation is normal. That starting is dangerous. That comfort is the reward. Over time, this doesn't just affect one goal. It becomes your default way of living. You hesitate in opportunities. You second-guess decisions. You shrink your ambitions to match your behavior. And slowly, your life adjusts to a lower standard, not because you lack ability, but because you stop testing it. And here's the hardest truth in all of this. Most people aren't stuck because they can't move forward. They're stuck because moving forward would require them to confront something they've been avoiding for years. Maybe it's discipline. Maybe it's consistency. Maybe it's the realization that effort alone isn't enough, that they need to improve how they think, work, and learn. That's uncomfortable. So they stay in a loop where they think about change. Talk about change. Even plan for change. But never fully step into it. If you're honest, you can probably see parts of yourself in this. Not all of it. But enough to recognize the pattern. The question isn't whether you're capable of more. You already know you are. The real question is, what are you protecting by not trying? Is it your ego? Your self-image? Your comfort? Or the story you've been telling yourself about who you are? Because whatever it is, it's costing you more than failure ever would. At some point, you have to make a decision. Stay where you are, with potential intact but unused. Or risk exposing yourself to reality. And finally find out what you're actually capable of. There's no perfect moment. No guaranteed outcome. Just a choice. Comfort, or truth. What about you? Do you feel capable of more, but still find yourself settling? What's really holding you back? Be honest. Because deep down, you already know the answer. You've just been avoiding saying it out loud. And until you face it clearly, nothing really changes.